Redeemer. Good morning. My name is Tom Fregoso, and I'm honored to serve as a new deacon in the Episcopal Church. And I may be new to some of you, so let me just share why you might not see me much. It's because my ministry is shared between three vibrant communities. Here, social accessory to the rector. At St. Ignatius Parish in San Francisco, where as youth minister and coordinator of youth and family outreach. And then also recently starting to work at St. Paul's Benicia as their deacon, where I assist with the food pantry and midweek services. And though I often slip into the 7:30 a.m. service here at St. Paul's before heading to San Francisco, joining you this MLK weekend is a joy. Despite the winter chill outside, the warmth and hospitality and abundant grace is filling this community and really making it a place of belonging. And as I've reflected on today's gospel, John, this week, I was drawn to moments in my life where I felt unsure, but was gently nudged forward by someone I trusted, or a group of someones I trusted. Sometimes my mom. Hi, Mom. One memory stands out for me as I thought about this passage, a memory from college when I attended Berkeley. After my parents' divorce, the idea of home felt uncertain, and holidays became challenging. My mom invited me to Ventura to meet her new partner one year, and while I wanted to support her, I was nervous about the unknown. New dynamics, new family friends, and what it might mean for our family. I flew into LAX and took the shuttle north. 2 hours of sitting with anxious thoughts as I made my way to Ventura. Yet when I arrived, my fears were replaced by laughter, the abundance of Thanksgiving pies, and the warmth of a new community. That hesitant step forward brought unexpected blessings and reminded me that transformation often begins with a single act of trust. And this theme of hesitant yet transformative action resonates deeply in today's gospel. Now, I picture Jesus as being a youth minister, as maybe like a teenager at this time. And when his mother notices the wine is gone, she nudges him saying, they have no wine? His response, a reluctant, "Woman, what concern is that to you and me? My hour has not yet come." Can't you just see him rolling his eyes, maybe? Yet, despite this initial hesitation, Jesus acts, transforming an ordinary moment into something extraordinary. Now, this isn't the only time Jesus moves from hesitation to action. Later on in John 7, he tells his brother, "I'm not going to Jerusalem." But then he goes in secret. In John 11, he delays going to Lazarus, but 2 days later, he eventually performs one of his greatest miracles. And now, here at Cana, Jesus quietly transforms water into wine, fulfilling his mother's trust and revealing his mission to bring grace into the everyday. Now, this story is particularly poignant during an Epiphany season, a season of revelation. And John's gospel, coming on the heels of Christmas and the Christmas time, doesn't begin with a nativity scene. It begins rather with profound words. In the beginning was the Word. From the outset, we are grounded in Jesus' divine nature and his purpose to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, to bring grace and maybe abundance where there is lack. And Mary's role in this story is just as significant, even though she only appears twice in this gospel, here at Cana and later at the foot of the cross. And here at Cana, her unwavering faith in Jesus, that teenager, prompts her to tell the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." And I imagine their hesitation as they turn to Jesus and go, "Him?" After a pause, maybe with a sigh, okay. He instructs them to fill 6 massive jars with water, customarily the purification jars. And what happens next is extraordinary. Scarcity turns to abundance as water becomes the finest wine. And this miracle echoes the work we see in our own communities. For me, at St. Paul's, Benicia, their food pantry has faced a challenging year. Rising food costs, fewer donations, many more people coming through food pantries, has left a growing demand that had them wondering if they would continue. And so, facing financial shortfalls, they turned to the community for help, and support poured in. Volunteers, local businesses, and church members gave generously, transforming scarcity of being open for maybe a month, maybe 2, maybe 3, so now that they are funded all the way to the end of the year. Today, the pantry not only provides food, but also sustains hope for these families, these veterans, these individuals in need. Yet there are times when abundance may feel impossible. I think of the devastating fires that have ravaged California. And from a historical perspective, some of us remember the Oakland Hills fire. Some of us remember 5 years ago, the complex fire, the August complex fire in Sonoma, Santa Rosa. And then now we have the Palisades fire, where entire towns have been reduced to ash, and thousands of families have been left with nothing. The scale of loss is overwhelming, leaving many feeling like hope itself has been consumed by flames. But even in this devastation, there are glimpses of hope, glimpses of grace. Neighbors warned each other to evacuate, saving lives. Volunteers risked their own safety, not heeding the firemen's directions, but they risked their own safety to protect their homes and their neighbors' homes. Many churches and communities were burned and destroyed. Many more churches and communities and schools have become places of refuge and resilience, offering shelter and supplies. And these acts of courage and community remind us that God's grace endures even in the darkest times. This message of transformation through faith and action is echoed in our daily lives. And I really know it's not easy. I think of my own experiences where I have been nudged, cajoled, even going out with my youth to do things, and I think specifically of a time of doing high ropes courses with the youth up in the redwoods in Sonoma County. Those same redwoods that may have burned since. And I remember the youth watching their faces and their fears, leaping blindfolded or balancing on ropes. Those little scamps with low centers of gravity, oh my goodness. But I've also been on that platform at the very top of a telephone pole, blindfolded, afraid to leap, until the cheers and the little squeaks of encouragement down below gave me the courage to jump. I remember, oh my gosh, okay, fine. And I remember taking that leap to hit that bucket that triggered the bell. And oh my God, was it scary. But it was the power of encouragement, the same power of encouragement that is at the heart of today's gospel. Mary believed in Jesus when he hesitated. Who believes in you when you're unsure? Who sees your potential to bring abundance and grace to this world in need? As we honor Dr. Martin Luther King this weekend, we are reminded of his call to service, to justice, and hope. And like this Eucharistic table where we all are fed, we are invited to be vessels of grace in this world. We too can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, maybe by something as simple as supporting a food pantry, a food bank, comforting a neighbor, or standing up for justice. So as we leave today, may we listen for that gentle nudge from a friend, from a mother, a mentor, or God's quiet voice calling us to step forward in faith. Like Jesus at Cana, may we discover the abundance we can bring to the table, turning water into wine for a world in need. Amen.